If you look like this right now, then 22 days is not going to deliver your six-pack. But hold on, I got some encouraging news for you too. The idea is that I showed you before in a previous video that you can actually get a six-pack to show at much higher body fat levels than maybe you thought. Like even in the mid-teens, you could actually see, not necessarily a real sharp six-pack, but you can see them. So that's the first part. The second thing though is we know that if you follow a good nutrition plan, that you can carve away your abs more and more because you lose some of the overlying body fat. So the guy that was up in that range, he does have hope if he can kind of get that nutrition part, but it does tend to be a little difficult. I get it. But what we need to do is we need to change habits. And right now we find ourselves in a situation where changing our habits is something we're being forced to do because the world around us is forcing us to change our habits. So what we have to do is take advantage of that. And we know that 22 days is a period that allows us to actually implement changes to habits. If we could do something for 22 days, we can actually see changes. So even if you're starting out at kind of a higher level than expected here, up in the 30% range, if you do what I'm showing you here, you're going to start to adopt a new way of eating, hopefully paired up with your ability to stick to this for 22 days, which will get you on the right track and change your life. So what are we doing? We're doing an ab workout that we can all do. Everybody can do it because it's just 6 exercises. It's going to be done right here on the floor with nothing else, and I'm scaling it for every single level. And the way we do that is with a technique we used in a previous video called extinction training. And what extinction training does is it takes an ab exercise. Let's say the first one you're going to see here is called the W raise for our lower abs. The rep goal here is just 5. And if you could do 5, rest 10 seconds, you do it again. And you rest 10 seconds, and you do it again. You rest 10 seconds and you do it again. And ultimately, even the most advanced is not going to be able to recover in those 10 seconds, and they're not going to be able to get all 5. So at that point, you become extinct, you move on to the next exercise. So every exercise has either a rep or a time that you have to perform it for, and when you can't do it, then you move on. So we can see that even the beginners might just kind of get knocked out in the very first round or second round, but that's okay because there's room for improvement. So with that being said, let's start going through the actual workout. And you can see the W raise here is kind of 3 parts. We're kind of letting our legs start from low towards the ground, down just halfway, back up to the top, try to clear your hips off the ground, come back down, go back to the outer leg of the W again, and then you come all the way back down again. And then you come back up and you reverse the W. So you can see with my arms here, I'm going all the way up with the legs, down just halfway, back up, lift the pelvis, down, up here, and then all the way down to the ground and repeat until you can't get all 5. As soon as you can't, you move to the next exercise. The next one here is the Black Widow knee slides, and this is something when we talk about working bottom-up rotation. And you can see as I cross my knee over and drive it into that opposite elbow, I'm getting that rotation. And of course, I have to lift that knee and slide it up the forearm, which creates more of that posterior pelvic tilt, more of that ab engagement. This is done for 45 seconds. So if you get through all 45 seconds, you then rest 10 seconds and you go again. You can see it's going to be difficult for even the most advanced to do a whole hell of a lot of sets here at 45 seconds apiece with just a 10-second rest. So you are going to get caught up at some point, even if you're really advanced in your ab training. We move on to the next exercise, and it's called the butterfly sit-up. The arms actually provide you with a little bit of momentum to help to get you off the ground. But at the same time, we kind of open up. A little bit of extra benefit from the backside muscles of our upper back. Can never go wrong with that. But the fact is we do this for 10 butterfly sit-ups to get to our extinction number. When we can't do 10 anymore, then we move on. The next exercise is the seated corkscrew, because now we want to take it and we want to work not just the rectus abdominis, but the obliques. And we talk all the time about how the obliques work to sort of taper in and visually taper in the midsection. So we can do that with the seated corkscrew. You simply put your hands back behind your body. You drive your knees in and across, really trying to contract the obliques. This is another one of those timed exercises where we see if we can last for the entire 45 seconds. And if we can, we earn that 10-second rest and we repeat as many times as we can possibly do that. Again, beginners might find that they can't even get through the first 45 seconds. But that's okay because it gives you a place to start and to improve upon. And you're going to be able to expand, and this workout can grow with you for as long as you want it to. But again, 22 days here is the goal, 22 days in a row. We move on to the last 2 exercises, the first of which is the levitation crunch. And I love this one for what we call top-down movements, where we're just trying to move the upper torso without moving the lower torso. And we know that that's easier to do because the weight of the legs is not one of those factors that we have to really accommodate for. And what we do is we're just trying to clear the shoulders off of the ground. You simply lift yourself up and try to clear them off the ground. And what you do is you try to hold and pause at the top. That's where the levitation part comes in for like a 1 or 2 count, where you really try to make the upper abs work and hold that contraction. 10 good quality contractions. And then finally, the workout wraps up with the sit-up elbow thrust. This is our top-down rotation move. Here we're trying to just do 5 to each side. You can see it's a little bit more explosive too, but I come and I sit up and I drive across my body, and I come back to center and I lower myself down, come up and drive across the body, center and down. 5 repetitions to each side. Again, the goal being get all 5, rest 10 seconds, and try to get 5 and 5 again. Rest 10 seconds, try to get 5 and 5 again. Again, at this point, this exercise might not have been so difficult in the beginning, but because you're doing it in a fatigued state, it's going to catch up to you, and you may not be able to do all that many rounds of 5 and 5 and 5 and 5. This exercise here, again, caps off this workout, but guys, remember, it's the consistency of doing this workout. Just make the commitment. Do it with me. You know, it's not that difficult, guys. Again, you can start low and finish high. You just got to make sure that you're doing it. 22 days is all I'm looking for. And even if you're at that high level of body fat, you develop that habit that will set you up for a lifetime and hopefully a whole new lifestyle. And maybe this whole situation that we've been thrown in right now is an opportunity here that we can embrace and gets us on the right track. So if you're looking for a program, guys, where we actually take advantage of those habits that you've already ingrained and take it to the whole other level, that's what all of our programs do over at athleanx.com. You can find them there. In the meantime, if you found the video helpful, if you're going to do it, pass it around to somebody else. Take the challenge together. You can leave your comments and thumbs up below. If you haven't already done so, guys, click subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video when we put one out. All right, guys, see you soon.